Good morning. Getting all plugged in. Starting a little later today. Happy Saturday, everyone. Yeah, we've been training up one of the new goat moms. How do we milk? It's actually a really nice animal. A little skittish. Wasn't handled as much young. Could be better. There we go. And Mickey Maven, thank you for the follow. 4 hours ago. Wow. Also, Yaka 101. I don't think I said that yesterday, but thank you for the follow. So yesterday we left off. We left off with being see, where were we? Where did we leave off? Oh, let's see. We had worked on the net code and we discussed a couple of things. Towards the end, we actually had a couple more suggestions, which were really, really nice, in that we could pass in some sort of message that says when we are connected, we could signal it. So maybe the connection here also has like a one shot or a, what do they call the new one? Well, it's like one shot, but without the data. But we probably need, actually, is it even called one shot? I forget what it's called, but it's like a one shot, a single message queue. So you send, it's done, queue shuts down, it's over. You could do something like that. Or, as it was also pointed out, do the connection and then pass it in. It's also possible. So that seemed pretty interesting. Because here we could just create the connection, do the connection, and then pass it in into net. But one thing that I wanted to try to work around was having, so one of the other ideas was to export a function. And process, and that would take, self, also take owner. And I think it's going to pass in some sort of time delta, right? Who knows what that type is? Making this up. And one thing that we could do is inside of here, look at net and see if it has anything. Do some sort of polling on it or do something here. And or try get stuff, whatever it is. Right, just prototype code here. We could do something like this. The other thing that we could do, actually try to use async code in the other threads. I'm not sure how that works. So let's say that somewhere, maybe in lib, when this whole thing is getting set up, we start some sort of runtime. Right, Tokyo, whatever, small, small. If we started it here, it would be on the main thread. Right, I believe it's going to be on the main thread. And that would be pretty useful. is if that were there later, such as in here, probably do something like this, dot await if we were doing task spawning here. So in this case, we would just get everything that we needed, right, off of the scene graph, and then spawn a task and just wait there. So that could be something. I think I want to try that out. So let's see how far we can get with that. The other thing that we could do is so dig into Godot Rust a little bit more. Let's see, do we have a Vim here? We do. Great. Now in this case, let's go look for we have a yield type. Yeah. There's no yield. Of course there's no yield. It doesn't exist yet. Interesting. But basically, the idea is if we here, let's go look at the GD native stuff. Oh, no, there's their repository issues here for async. Provisional API, yada yada. I'm okay actually spawning tasks inside of my code. I think that'd be all right. But so this is GD script, and this is what I miss right now. I'm being able to yield asynchronously, say, hey, I want this piece to be done. Then wrap around Waker. Yes, yes. Yeah, I don't think that we need this right now. I think this would be nice. But I wonder how much of that it's actually needed. I thought there was something else that they did. I wonder how yield is actually implemented in GD script. I think what they're doing here, this yield, is really like a continuation. So this is really kind of signal based. I wonder if we have enough already to be able to create some sort of async component around the current signals. So let's look, go back to the docs. What am I looking for? Say libc, signal, signal FD, star signal. Signal number and that, okay. Was it emit signal? Ah, yes, emit. When something emits a signal, strings, vars, etc., how do we, it's called connect, that's right. So we could connect something to an object, sort of target object. That could be our little yield object. Ooh, let's try that out. So if we make something, why is that optional? Why is connect optional? Oh, because you can just give it function. Huh. Because if we give it some sort of object, and that object has, whatever function called, can continue on. Oh, where's my music? Pretzel, where are you? Ah, there we go. Okay, there we go. But I think we might be able to use connect in that sense. Object connect. Now, what does that actually look like in Godot? We fire up Godot. I don't remember which order that you pass these things in. I want to see the documentation on that. I see the target. So this is a signal. Let's say we want the connected signal or the whatever string it is. This is the target object, and this is the method to call on that object. And these are flags. No, these are arguments. So you can pass values in. Interesting. Those are interesting references there. And then the flags, okay. Good to go. I don't think we're going to find anything extra there. But we could actually wrap this whole thing up. Create some sort of type around this. Yeah. And then when this function gets called, we trigger some sort of waker passing in the values. Go from there. Wow. Okay, that might work. I don't think this is going to be useful, the Godot string here, because all we're going to do is continue on with our code. I think what we're going to want to do is return the value. Because this connect, this is going to receive some sort of value. That method is. So we'll just return a variant array. Yeah, wait. Huh. That could be cool. All right, let's see if we can wire that up. So first, say, you know what I forgot to do? Squared announce. All right, got that done. Let's go back to the code. We're in the code. Let's go to init, our lib here. So what if I also did a little bit of reading yesterday on the threading in Godot. They do have a little bit of documentation on that. Or is it? Did I close it? So in their docs, We have a little bit about threading, what you can access across threads, what you shouldn't access across threads. Basically, if you do spawn threads in GD script, you should not interact with the scene graph on these other threads. But anything that's global, you can access. I have a number of those. Where is it? Documentation. Oh, learn. I do not associate learning with documentation for some reason. Ah, there we go. Thread safe APIs. So they have global scope elements, and they have a scene tree stuff. Interacting with the active scene tree is not thread safe. Okay, well, that's good. Also really, really good to look for things like that when you start, yes, when you start interacting with native APIs. That would have been one of the first things I did as a C programmer. But, well, is it reentrant? Is it, what is the threading model? How can we interact with it? So, anyhow, and then it goes on and talks about dictionaries, etc. How they are thread safe as long as you're not resizing. All right. So what do we want to do here? I'm thinking that we, instead of doing, I'm going to take the runtime out of the netcode. Or was it? It was in spawn, wasn't it? Spawn loop. Yeah, let's do the multi-threaded runtime. Or just, maybe just a single thread for all of our runtime stuff. Let's try it that way. We'll see how far we get. I'm actually going to move the stuff up and out, I think. This logic here with this loop, this will just be a Tokyo task spawn. I think I want this element here to be out. And we will explicitly spawn another thread in the init function. Hopefully that's okay. Oh, but that's not what we want. Oh, I see the problem, because basically if what I want to do is here in login and spawn a task in login on that thread has to basically be owned by the async stuff. Because when the execution context comes in here and we say spawn, whatever that thread is that's calling to login needs to already have Tokyo on it. Interesting. Is it possible for a thread to have both? I don't think that it is. It's not like you can yield that. So can we spawn something here? What does Tokyo do when you create a runtime? So if we build this runtime, let's go look at the Tokyo information here. Tokyo. Tell me your secrets, Tokyo. I love that you can use the arrow keys up and down on this. Does J and K work? Oh no, that would be a great feature though. Add some Vim bindings to that. Runtime for executing asynchronous code, including the task scheduler IO driver. All right, unlike other Rust programs, asynchronous applications require runtime support. Got it. Yes, we know that. In particular, the following runtime services are necessary. Event loop, scheduler, execute tasks. Oh, interesting. I wonder if a runtime task. So if we have a runtime, we can spawn. I think in the other one we were also doing like a block on. Let's look at the runtime object itself. Spawn a future on the Tokyo runtime. Okay. And that's on the runtime itself. We could probably, from whatever thread, have a runtime. Keep track of one. Now, what if the runtime is not on the current thread? Hmm. Run a future to completion. This is the runtime's entry point. Got it. I see, we don't want to call block on though. In that login function, we don't want to do that. It says it's the entry point. Runs a feature on the runtime, blocking until it's complete, yielding the result. May not be called from async context. Okay. Oh, enter the runtime context. Oh, this is interesting. What's enter do? So we have block on, and then we also have enter. Enter, we give it a function. It allows you to construct types that must have an executor available on creation, such as delay or TCP stream. It also allows you to call methods such as this. Function that spawns, Tokyo spawn. Let's see, and doesn't seem like it blocks. We tie Tokyo spawn to this executor. Okay. Well, that's handy. They got a lot of neat stuff in here. On this one, you can use a handle to spawn tasks that run on this runtime. Okay, but it still looks like we need a runtime. We need a thread. Then we'll have to spawn tasks onto this runtime in order to get it working. All right. The difference between block on and enter. Wonder, do we need to have something blocking? What about this one? Spawn. All right, let's try this. So we're going to need a runtime. Let's go back to login. Okay, how would I want to do this? Whatever it is. Whatever our runtime is, RT spawn, something like that. Then we do something in here, etc. Let's try that. Okay, so I like the idea of having just a RT or something like that, whatever our runtime is, make something there. Let's create one of those. Source rt.rs. Oh, that's not RT. Set RT. Oh, interesting. Okay, and to match, so are we going to do spawn or enter? Spawn. Spawn might work. Okay, yeah, I think we just want to use spawn. Now, this is going to be here. What's that on there? Where F is a future? This is actually taken from the Tokyo runtime talks. Okay. Also, our join handle, we only need one type there because of the output. Get rid of T. Good. And that's future. Future's off of standard future, 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 future. All right. Let's also use the one cell stuff. I think this is the most I've ever used one cell. And what's the type on that going to be? That's going to be a Tokyo runtime. gonna grab the net stuff. Ooh, what is that? Let's see, RT init should only be called once. Let's wire that up in lib. All right, you'll sort it for me, good. There we go, RT once, RT init, got our one cell, use cell, sync, one cell. What else are we missing? Oh, builder. Yes, where was builder? Oh, it's in net. Tokyo runtime builder. Yep. I think this is a Tokyo join handle, isn't it? Yeah, Tokyo task. Oh, now I'm not sure how you pronounce this, but is it Prigord? 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 Thank you for the follow and hello. Good morning. Happy Saturday. How are you doing? Oh, Prigord. Thank you. That's very helpful. Just starting to learn to code. That was quite a while ago. And hyper menu. Thank you for the follow. And if I get any pronunciation wrong, please let me know. Feel free to correct me. Oh, you finished your first jam. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I've never done a game jam. I think it'd be really, really fun though. We're gonna do it. Expect Godot. There's a Ben Bonk's game jam. One of the top popular. Oh, wow. Do you have a link? Love to take a look. Oh, they get announced tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's take a quick look. Little ora niwa here. which I'm probably also butchering in pronunciation. I love the art style on this. This is awesome. Gonna troll opponent. Admin tool. Okay. Ooh, parkour and puzzle mechanics. On. Betraying your teammate can be beneficial. Oh, that's awesome. 50% of the code. Nice. Oh, that's cool. I like this art style. Very retro. I love the idea. Oh, that's awesome. Of course, you guys can't hear this. You got blue and you got yellow. Is this played on the same machine? This is cool. Use Parsec to play in the video. Nice. This is really cool. Well, congratulations on getting your first game jam done. Game jam done. Oh, good. Good on the level design too. Wow. The rest of you can't hear the mechanics. This is really nice. Can you tell us about the stack you used? Well done. Congrats. That's an achievement to have something playable at the end of game jam. That's amazing. Godot and GD script. Oh, nice. Very, very cool. Well done, actually. I'm kind of taken back by how much you got done in that weekend. I've been working on this thing for like 6 months, and in a weekend, got that done. What am I doing wrong? Oh, we need to pull that in. Create extensions. Godot expect. There we go. Probably not writing dirty code. Have you seen this channel? I'm kidding. Actually, we've been having a lot of fun learning Rust. I think the majority of the time on this channel is focused on Rust. And we even found a way to use Rust in Godot. So let me move the mic a little bit. There we go. All right, now in this case, we have spawn, runtime spawn. Those look okay. I'm gonna go back to lib, doing our runtime init. Our async. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to net. Now that we have a runtime, we should be able to just call that. Just use RT. Is walking, is gliding, is jumping, is falling. And to me, that sounds like an enumeration. And I think in the latest version of Godot in 3.2, you can use enums like that. It's not a module. This is a GD native. Yeah, GD native scripts. So I actually disabled GD script, and we're only using GD native now. I went through the effort of trying to thin down the deployable runtime. So I think I got a decent size. May I ask, when you bundle your game, you bundle it for whatever platform, Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever, how big is it? What is the download size? I actually care very much about that, and I'm curious. You don't have a ton of art. I see a lot of tiles there, so hopefully it's pretty small and it compresses well. That's very big. Okay. Gotta go back into net. Okay. Is this net? This is net. There's our spawn. Spawn loop. Now instead of this, I'm gonna use RT spawn. Oh, it's a colon. There we go. RT spawn. Turning a join handle. That's the wrong kind of join handle. It's RT spawn. Let's get rid of this join handle. This is now oh, you made your own line maps. Full HD and copy them everywhere, all over the map. 114 megs, okay. Very little to use for them. Very little use for them. Oh, interesting. For the modules? So I was actually thinking that this file here would make more sense as a module, a net replacement. Oh, I have a semicolon there at the end of that. There we go. So now we should have that. I think we're still using the single-threaded runtime for this. I don't want to spawn like 8 cores, 8 threads for this. I'm going to try to keep it light. All right. Is there anything wrong? Oh, failed to resolve for T. An async move on that. What's going on in here? Oh, yeah, because this isn't actually async. All right, now something is getting moved between the address. That's sock adder. Oh, but we need control for that, and it's gonna have to get owner. Okay. All right, did that make sense, everyone? Basically, these owner values do not, or not send. So if we put that back, see, we get this kind of C void mutable pointer cannot be sent between threads safely. Send is not implemented for this, which is true, and it's caused, in this case, close that, there we go, by this owner is being moved into the async block. Well, that type, any of these control types do not have send. Hey, AT Carter. Happy Saturday. ET Native can do quite a bit. Do things that wouldn't be possible in the script. Oh, modules are the only way to do Rust with WASM. Huh. Yeah, I wasn't going to do WASM. WASM doesn't have enough kind of market support yet. I think it's still like 2 years off, unfortunately. Hey, you've been doing having trouble getting a vignette on your player camera for forever. Huh. Uh, so Precord. No, your question, which direction you should be looking, is. Oh, I see. I missed one of your things there. Having trouble getting your vignette. Sorry, the colors are actually very, very similar between Wardley and Precord. Oh, like that. That sort of vignette. Now, I noticed on that vignette that it's a background vignette and not a foreground vignette. You can see that the terrain is not there. Are you looking to get is that yours actually, that screen cap? Or is that something that you want to try to do? Yeah, but if I'm targeting Electron and modern node, then that's going to be some sort of download. And if there's going to be a download, just download the game. But yeah, Xenocrine, good thinking. Huh. See. I actually don't see purple. You're also, that's a very sort of grayscale blend there. You're gonna get a better vignette if you cross colors, because the color space is larger for the gradient. So if you go from like a red to a blue, even if they're dark, there's more color space. All right. Also, it also depends on, like in the browser, you can actually get better gradients in browsers if you don't use RGB, but you use HSV. Is that what it is? HSV? HSL? It's not HSL. hue, saturation, luminosity. It might be HSL. But you'll get better gradients if you're going two different between HSL values as opposed to RGB values in the browser. Fun CSS tricks. HSV, thank you. Hue saturation value. Luma. Got it. All right, so let's move that back outside. We're gonna move the sock adder in. That should work. Okay, where else? Oh, now we just got dead code. Method is never used. Has, remove, sure. All right, now we've done this. Let's see if this actually works. Do a cargo build on this. Oh, sure, and that. All my warnings. Oh wow, it's kind of working. Oh, you can't see it. Go with game. It didn't panic. And when I clicked login press, that's fine. Oh, what's this? Oh, I was running Jaeger over there. All right, we need a little bit more to be able to say that this is actually working. Let's go back into net and let's go to connect. Say the function. Yep. I like how quick this builds. All right, that didn't actually work. Okay, I can press the button again. We're not getting the E print lines there. Let's go back to login. Login. Okay, so it's not actually doing that spawn. So that code never gets called. I need to do like a... Okay, something we're missing here is the entry. Go back to the browser. Maybe we should use the threaded scheduler just to try it out. Because I think it'll spawn the threads if we use that one, whereas if we use the other one, we have to spawn the threads. Oh, I'm in the... Wait, what are you seeing over there? That's strange. I don't have that tab open anymore. That was weird. Do I have two Firefoxes open? Nope. OBS. OBS, the revenge. Okay, so we're going to switch to a threaded scheduler up here, which means that we have to go into a cargo toml and Head RT threaded. We'll do an enable all. That should also give us timers and stuff if we enable the timers. Oops. There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set the thread name. All right. So far, so good. We can build that and run it. Take a little bit longer because we changed the configs. I'll log in. We're gonna hit this button. Oh, look. Ha, it worked. Ooh, that's good. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now, what do we want the next part to look like? Go back to login. So I'm working backwards from how I want the code to look to how I want to build it. So in this case, we have this here. That's a good question. Let's see if is my bot up. No, it's all right. I probably already have the tab open. So there's this project called GD Native, and GD Native has Rust support. So let's see, is it actually going to show the right browser thing? Let me double check. Yeah, that's showing it. So we can go to the other creates IO one. Nope, just this guy. Pretty cool. Active development. And if you're new to Rust, you can help them out with some of the getting started bugs, tasks. All right. Now, actually, if we're going to do it this way, we can change this all up. Because now net doesn't have to have that. We could just pass the connection through. Instead of passing the socket adder here, we could just actually pass the socket, the TCP stream in. All right, but for now, let's just do this. Interesting, because now I have the option to do the connect somewhere else. Oh, and I'm afraid 123. Don't worry about asking questions, just ask. Where'd it go? Oh, login. Let's go ahead and do the connect here. Does mean that the Tokyo stuff is going to bleed into the rest of the code a little bit more. That might be okay. Oops, wrong file. Net.
you sometimes kind of wish I'd gone to law school?
All right, so let's use, we're going to use another Tokyo element here. So in Tokyo MPSC, look at the modules. It's none of those. I don't want those. Tokyo sync. One shot. There we go. So we're going to pass in a one-shot channel, and when the connection is done, we'll signal the result. If there's an error, we'll also signal that. Okay. Where's Tokyo? Use Tokyo sync one shot. There we go. Let's see. Now this is going to be connect result. It's TXR. Okay, so this is going to be TX. And we will await the connect result there. One shot channel. Oh, come on, fingers. There we go. Got it. Pass both of these in. Yeah, we don't have a type yet on that, which is okay. Let's go change that. One shot sender. What should we send? This is going to be, actually it's going to be a result type. I don't think we can clone that, so we might have an issue there. Yeah. We don't need clone or partial EQ. All right, now that we have a message like that, to be able to pass that through. After that's done, just connect result.await. All right, now that's actually going to be two things. So in this case, we might have an error. Right? Otherwise, we'll just need to go forward and maybe change a scene. I wonder if this would be better served. Async function. Connect, and then we pass in the address here. Probably not. Oh, you know what's going to happen here? Once this is actually done, this might not have actually solved any of our problems. We'll see. Might be too early to say. Yeah, okay. Because of self getting moved inside there, we can't do that. Well, let's see what happens. We have the connection, we await, oh, we don't invoke that. No, in this case we're going to do a match. And this is either going to be, well, let's see. My code action stopped working. It's either okay, or it's error. If it's error, this is the one that's going to be iffy. So we'll save that. We should probably do it first, but I know what we want to do here. This is going to be scene manager, go to. I think it was just called go to, something like that. And in this case, we give it a string of what we want it to go to. Let's just go back to Bootstrap for the moment because I don't have another scene to go to. Where's Bootstrap? Bootstrap. PSCN. So it's going to be scenes Bootstrap, this one. Scene manager, sure. Yeah, that should get us to the welcome scene again. If there's an error connecting though, this one. All right. Because in this case, we actually have to set the error text on one of the components. Problem is that that reference to that component, it's not send. So we either have to implement send on that and trust that we're going to be doing things in a safe way, or figure out another way to do it. According to their documentation that we were looking at earlier, where'd it go? We were looking at the website. We'll just look here for a moment. They have thread safety in here. I don't know if they do. I don't think so. They do have call deferred. And call deferred is what you're supposed to use in order to invoke things across threads. So if we wanted to be able to set something on an object from one thread to another, especially when the thread is in the scene graph already, the object that we want to mutate is in the scene graph already, we have to call something like this for Godot. Let's see, so it calls method that we're calling set. This shows we need the object. Okay. And as we saw earlier, owner there is the object, also error. So I think it's more accurately error is what we want to adjust. So how do we deal with this? We could try to wrap this with something else. Not set in like a our commutex. Oh, we're in the browser. Well, I guess that's not the browser, that's the Godot. Just as bad. So in this case, we're looking to do the opposite of this. In this case, we're setting it to empty because you're trying to log in, so that should clear the error that might already be there because you may have tried to log in before. And if we fail to connect, error.set text, this is bad. We don't want to do this. Yeah, that needs to be a Godot string. So we need something that can manipulate this. I mean, maybe we just RC it. Because this object here is kind of a reference. And if it goes away, that's it. So let's see, let's reason through this. If we spawn this, how long is this going to last? This is going to last until we change scenes, or actually it's going to last until we do this, so it should be safe to move that in here, that reference, or to keep a reference to that. Is there like a error dot? Yeah, that's not it. What was it in GD script here, or GD native? Was it get ref? That's for variant. I see, that's not for the scene types. So let's say we go to, oh, there is no node. Okay, going back. So we're gonna let the address do that. That's right, we need a new type for this, not that. That'll only be sync. What is a proper Rust type to use for this? Is it ref cell? That's send, but not sync. Okay. What else is there? Oh, ref mute. Unsafe cell. Let's see, this one has dynamically checked borrow rules. And it looks like it's going to be mutated though, so we might need this. Okay. I would expect that mutable, or to require mute. All right, and then all right, and now in this case we're going to do a borrow mute. Is it because of the call? Or the borrow? Okay, sure, we'll have to fix that. Send is not implemented for that. Oh, it's only send where T is send. I see. Huh. All right. All right. I gotta do something real quick. I'll be back in 5. Okay. We'll toss that up. All right, give me 5. And we're back. My weekend so far? Well, this is the beginning of it. So far, it's pretty good. I've got a list of stuff to do. I'm going to be doing some digging today, get some projects done. Maybe setting up the first greenhouse. We'll see. That involve more digging. I think I'm going to name this. Let's see. Coming in here. Negative amounts are not supported. Oh, fine. Impulse. Let's see. Unsafe impulse. Send for. There we go. Hey, it's 11509. How's it going? It's just a tag there. Go back to login. Oh, it's private. It looks public. Obstruct. Oh. Sure. Ooh, almost there. Need to get this set up. Okay. So in this case, let's work back. What did I call it? in login. It was the result, the connect result. What it was. Ooh, this one's gonna be a little weird because I still need the IO result for that too. Yeah, it's gotta own it. Is that clonable? No, it's not. So in this case, we send the message all the way through and we expect a result, but there is no result that can come back. It's not the same result. I mean, this send doesn't anything. This dies silently over here, doesn't it? Yes, that's where it is. Okay, so in this case, if we get the error, we try to send the error back over the channel. Oh, I see. I see. We're basically using the other end of the channel for that. Oh, well, if I continue to use that pattern, then we don't actually need this. So we can get rid of these elements here, the one-shot bits. Let's just use that channel. Where's that channel? So in this case, we do the send, and the connection result should be in there. A little weird for connect, because connect should be like the first thing you do and just live and be its own thing. I really am treating this kind of response channel differently. Hmm. Everything's so fast now. Yeah, with the SSD. Nice. Now what I'm considering here is maybe you can send, but if you ever want the response, you also have to give a channel for that. So if you say, oh, attack, and then, or move, things like that, things that you might want a response from the server for, like, I don't know, trade, right? You want to know if it succeeded or failed. Some move packets, we can drop those, sure. But like trade or monetary things, you definitely don't want to lose out on that stuff. So in this case, if we did just go with the one-shot idea, well, let's put some of that back. So if something comes in with an optional thing, especially for send, I wonder how I'm going to associate those. Probably going to need some more structure around that. I don't really like the IO result here. It's okay. We're just kind of playing around with the async stuff, so we'll probably clean that up later. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to remove the result type here, and whenever we handle, if we expect something needs a response, if it needs a response, it should send a channel so it can be sent back. There we go. And what about send? Send down here. No longer get errors back, which means that TX is questionable now. Oh, interesting. All right, now the connection is not set up. The server's not running. So if we build and run this, there it goes. Different thread. Oh, interesting. Ah, oh, they actually check. Oh, that's great. So I have to do a call deferred with this, comma that. It's not going to go know what type it is from stir. Oh, it might. I see. I knew the first one because it had to be a Godot string for the function name. The second one was a variant. There we go. Let's try building and running again. Interesting. So it has to be the same thread. It has to. I thought that call deferred. Did I use call deferred? Did. Thought that'd make it okay. Because over here, interacting with the active scene tree is not thread safe. Make sure you use mutexes when sending data between threads. If you want to call functions from a thread, the call deferred function may be used. Huh. Interesting. So how do we fix this? This is executing on a separate thread. We get that. Call deferred is what you use in GD script in this situation. I want to check browser. Call deferred. Closed. That's not it. All right, well, if that's not it, back to the console. Thread 9, thread 1, okay. Check module level documentation for user data for more information. All right, let's do that. User data. Script behavior is attached to base objects through script instances. GD native exposes this to native languages as void pointers. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do that. Oh, this is new. Huh. But this isn't about, yeah, this isn't about my object. This is about the text element, the label. All right, method call failed with this. Ah, see, we're in macros. Which one are we in? Instance. Where is this actually used? Okay, so Godot wrap method inner. This looks like the API for um, which I'm not sure. This user data is different. Okay, at first I thought it looked very much like the Godot call API, but it's not. We have user data here. Hey Musin, how's it going? I only got a couple minutes, but I see. So it uses those two macros for making the methods. Now, I'm actually hitting this. Okay. Cheating native core method call failed with error. And the error is actually that we're calling a method on a different object from a different thread. I use Rust because I think it solves the problem well. You don't use Rust because you're not a batty boy, but if you are, I respect you as a person. Um, I wanted to use Rust to learn Rust. I see. Because what I'm trying to do here, go back, this little convoluted, but work through it. I have this little dinky like unsafe send wrapper thing because I didn't want to create a unit type for everything I wanted to put inside of a spawn thing. Hey Kendo, thank you. Oh, I'm so new at this whole subscription thing. It's really truly encouraging. Thank you. But no offense, why are we trying to learn? Oh, just starting a fight. Hey, Commander Thrashton, how's it going? I see, want to fight. Oh, I get it now. Oh, clever, clever, clever. All right. So in this case, basically this little unsafe send wrapper, it's a sneaky little thing. Um, New type, implement send for whatever, and you can take it out of there, right? So yeah, it does safety really well. Memory safety, it solves a number of issues for multi-threading problems that you would normally have in other languages, problems that I've experienced in the past, writing Java or C code. So I'm experienced in the pains that Rust solves. And I'm really glad that it solves those pains because I don't have to worry about them right now. The compiler enforces certain rules that help me to address any of those issues ahead of time. Hey Flask, how's it going? 809, how's it going? Oh, 9, how's it going? Oh, everybody's here today. 9, how's it going? Oh, everybody's here today. 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 Oh, come on, want to fight? Let's behave. Um, so in this case, I wrap the error, move it into here, into this spawn. I'm creating a runtime, a threaded runtime, trying to get this so that I can do some async stuff here. I create the one-shot channel for the response on this. What? I watch his channel. I suggest people watch his channel. He's not my friend. I mean, I'd say we're Twitch Twitch buddies. No, not a family member. Anyhow, all right, let's get back to it. Now, in this case, yeah, I get that you're not supposed to be able to call these from the other thread. Now, one thing that we do have here is if we go look at the threading issues here, got a scene tree, etc., and it says that you're supposed to be able to call across threads if you use call deferred, which does not seem to be the case for GD native. There we go. Let's keep going. That wasn't needed, was it? All right. But yeah, GD native, what we use, excuse me, in GD script, we would use call deferred to be able to do this across threads. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody came in just looking to stir up trouble, so I'll let it go. Yeah, that's actually the first time that like somebody's actually done that on the thread on the thing here. Bots, yeah, bots we do all the time. But somebody come in just like looking to stir trouble just for stirring trouble. Yeah, I gotta work on it. Yeah, those people are out there. All right, so if we can't do it this way, is there a way for us to actually get back on the main thread, or is this kind of a fool's errand? Because we built this up in order to be able to spawn these things. We did that. We got the unsafe send. Now we got the error take and whatnot. But if that's not going to work, it's the call deferred. Call deferred here. The scene manager works just fine, actually. But let's validate that. I make sure. All right. So the connection, the login connection is going to fail because we don't have the server running, I think. Oh, do I have the scene? Is the server actually running? I didn't think I had the server running. Okay, I'm genuinely surprised with that. Thank you for asking that question. Oh, what is the error? Oh, error is a component. It's a label component that is currently in the scene. I believe, let's see, it exists in, we go into the scenes, login TSCN. Where's the actual scene? Oh, if we go to 2D and look at the scene here, there's this error label here. And normally, if something goes wrong, this gets filled out. Drop the component on one of the wrappers. So I created a little unsafe thing because trying to reason through it. In order to move it across threads, I needed to wrap it in something. So I created this unsafe send. And when you say wrap it in one of the wrappers, which one do you mean? The user data? I wasn't, excuse me, I wasn't associating user data with, oh, I'm in Godot, thank you. I wasn't associating the user data that you can add here with the scene elements. I was associating user data with stuff here. All right, I'm going to rebuild that and try again. Login, login. Yeah, it is the scene change. Okay, that's unexpected. Okay, well, if that's the case, because I was looking at the other thing, I was looking at the error because I expected it to be this, as I thought scene change was just fine. Going to go to what is scene manager? Invoke. So we get a node, which is scene manager. Oh, I see. So this needs to be a call deferred. Wait. What am I doing there? Invoke deferred. And why did I do this? Yeah, I'm just not sure what the user data, what the associated user data is attached to. It looks like it's attached to um, the error, but I was completely wrong in that train of thought. So let's dig through here. I'm guessing that I should have been calling invoke deferred here, which is my wrapper around this call deferred. Oh, that's right. I did this because it's possible for you to do an invoke deferred on something that doesn't have the method, and then it fails silently. So yeah, and that little wrapper. So at least check at debug time if the function exists. All right, go back to scene manager. That looks good there. No, I thought invoke deferred, go to scene here, which should be here. All this does is do a deferred onto this, so maybe I should just be calling this directly. Yeah, this could deferred go to scene, like that's what I should be calling. But this is what, if I do use GD script, this is what it would call go to scene. All right, so let's change that. All right, that's looking better. Log in. Oh, current scene should exist when changing scenes. Login pressed. Connecting. Huh. Well, that's cool. Okay, I can deal with that. Something internally is wrapped in this. Copy link address. Oh, I see. Okay, that's the case. Oh, interesting. Is is one cell available to all threads? Hey, Carter. All right, thank you. Yeah, we're just gonna be going a couple more minutes. Have a good weekend. So it is available to all threads. Global, okay. Because we're calling goto here. That does the invoke deferred. It used to call this, and I know this one works. I mean, goto's getting called all the time. Like when we start up in Bootstrap to even show. No, I don't want it local. I'd rather it be global, which is fine with me. Global's cool, but what is that one? Local key. Oh, interesting. Local key. So in this case, current scene went through once. So let's see, how did this change? Goto is being called by something that is being called in a deferred state. It's failing at current scene. Why would that be the case? I mean, we're not even getting down to this part. We got the login, which means we passed Bootstrap, we passed Welcome, we got to the login scene. And that. Did I click it twice? No, it should have said login pressed if I did it more than once. Okay, this is the welcome scene. I'm gonna go log in. Now if we click login, that should take us, I think, back to like welcome scene. Okay, so it really is just that. So why would current scene have worked for the first couple of transitions, but not for this one? Oh, I see, it's lazy static sort of. Ah, I gotcha. Huh. So in this case, let's see, could this have failed to get set again? I know as we move through place to place, it goes through kind of a couple of stages, and in this deferred go-to scene, we take it. It's fine, we expect that. And then later, put stuff back into it down here after all of these other checks and whatnot have passed. But we didn't see any of these errors. I think. I don't see them. I'd expect that this scene does exist. But somehow when we call it not from the main Godot thread, but when we call it from the um, Tokyo runtime thread, we have an issue. Standard red current. There it is, ID. All right, so it happened once, happened twice. And if we click it again, oh, it's 4 and then 9. Oh, that's different. Why is it doing both? I guess it could be possible that two threads are running that function at the same time, and then the second one has it unset. Yeah, it's a threaded runtime. Um, oh, you're right. I do have everything I need for that. Thank you. Okay. I'm guessing that there's two threads entering at the same time. Yeah, let's just validate this. Oh, I didn't like that. Could not initialize scene manager. Scene tree is missing. Huh, okay. Oh, you mean the global init, not init. I click login. Good. Okay. I'm going to click the login button. Strange. Oh, okay. Yeah, we only see it enter and exit. However, we're getting both threads registered down here. Is it because I'm using this invoke deferred? Is like this has method actually doing something bad for us? Oh, nice. Thank you. That is nice. I feel like it's something simple, something. Why is Bootstrap doing this? Oh, oh, because we're going to a scene that immediately changes the scene. All right, that's my fault. If we go to login, yeah, I gave it Bootstrap. Let's give it something else instead of Bootstrap. Just go back to welcome. Yeah. And if we go to Bootstrap, that does. In init, probably not the best place for it. I should probably put that. Play. That's okay. In ready, fine. Oh, interesting. So the scene didn't have time to finish loading by the time the next scene was already attached? Or maybe this should not be here, but should be in on enter tree or something. Anyhow, I think it's going to be a fairly rare case that you enter someplace. Okay, now yeah. Okay, so that's going back and forth now. Oh, good. Oh, all right. I'm getting later and later. My missus is going to be upset at me. I got to start fixing that. All right. Um, yes, expect that tomorrow, 9 o'clock sharp. Got to stop. Um, but hey, that's working. And just to recap, because I know some people actually missed some of this, I created this RT thing, runtime. Don't look at the top stuff. Look at this stuff. So we initialize Tokyo, a multi-threaded scheduler, gave it a thread names, yay, enabled everything, whatever. And then we use a one cell to set the runtime. Then later, we use spawn to be able to spawn functions that we can use async code inside of. Okay. Now then, if we go back over to login, see where it's actually used. If somebody clicks on the login button there on the scene, oh, wrong scene. We'll just get rid of that. So if they click on login and they filled out their username and password, this code gets run. We get everything we need off of the objects. I have to wrap this thing that we want to mutate in our little unsafe wrapper. Call RT spawn. Then we start to do our async code in here. And this seems to work okay. You know, if you're not doing silly things like recursively changing scenes. Huh. All right. I was not expecting OK to actually be run here. Thank you, Museum, for asking if it was this one and not the other one. I had presumed it to be error, because that's what we had been working on, and I didn't know better. The call deferred. Actually, I want to see, because we know that's actually doing it. What happens if we do run that code? Error. Oh, I don't have that in an unsafe block. There we go. All right, last thing. Or winding down. All right. Well, that's counting down. This. Login. Okay, good. Click on login. Hey, it actually worked. Okay, that's great. So we can use deferred on those elements. We do have to do that little wrap on them. And this seems to work well enough. The little runtime new type wrapper for this. I didn't see anything that was like this inside of the standard library, but it seems like they should have something like this. I'm pretty sure I just missed it. Yeah, there's that. Just basically implementing, send unsafely. So that's great. That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, I'm not sure of another way to do it. And the only reason that we have to do this is because you can't call, they don't have another way to do this. The unsafe set, excuse me, the, seems like if you do this, you have to use call deferred on those stuff, on those elements. Oh yeah, T isn't send in this case. All right, I gotta go. See y'all. Till next time.